Welcome to Gary Numan's Cars. Today we're going to have a look at off-road karting.
I have a kart of my own at home which isn't really meant for off-roading, but I thought I'd give it a try as I knew this rally karting day was coming. Big mistake, to be honest.
Good.
Gary, nice to meet you. How you doing? All right?
Yeah, that's great. I love all that jumping over the sun. We're going to be doing that.
Absolutely, yes.
Right, so what is the schedule for today and March?
Well, first off, we'll sign you in, kit you out, brief you, explain exactly what we want you to do, then you'll be on a full race session there.
Right, so overalls and helmet use and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Gets muddy by the looks of it.
Can get very muddy, depends on the weather, but yeah, a lot of fun in the wet.
Okay, so, and we do how many races? How does that work?
Basically, there'll be 4 carts on the track. You'll have 4 goes, so you have 1 go in each cart. Thereafter, then we pick out the 4 fastest qualifiers. They go through to the final.
So do you time a lap or do you time the whole 4 laps?
The heat is timed, so your heat times are important, not one particular lap.
So you've got to keep on it all the time?
Absolutely. Foot to the floor, keep going, fast as you can. Over the jump, and keep going.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But Alright, so the first thing we do now is a briefing, yeah?
Briefings first.
Okay.
Okay, welcome to Mountain Mayhem this morning. Obviously we're going off-road karting first and foremost. Basically the machines are 400cc. They're automatic in respect of you've only got 2 pedals. The right hand side is go, left hand side is slow. Stop would be a wild exaggeration in these conditions. Okay, first off, safety points. Well, before you get in the cart, we need to be sure that your chin strap is done up. Not really concerned which chin is under, so long as it's actually done up. For the final itself, we pick out the 4 fastest heat times. So basically you don't need to do that well on 3 of them, but you need to do well on 1, otherwise you won't make the final. Right. We communicate with flags just the same as a Grand Prix. If the yellow flags come out, it basically means there's an obstruction on the track itself, but it means you can carry on. All right. There is no overtaking on a yellow flag lap, but you can still go as fast as you want, but be aware there will be something on the track somewhere at some stage. The red flag itself, well, that means we're pulling the stops on that race. We'll line you back up and start it again. So when the red flags are out, please take it easy, pull back up to the start line. Okay. We have a blue flag as well, which is basically an overtaking flag. It is only shown from 1 point, and that is over there on the end of those crash barriers. If somebody's waving the blue flag at you, it means you've probably got somebody stuck right up your rear end, attempting to get by. All right, the blue flag is out for the reason we want you to allow them to do so. It's not going to affect your time, but you're possibly affecting theirs. Okay, so what we ask you to do is come through to the inside of the track itself here, nearer to the crash barriers. Allow them to go through on the far side on the drive line, and you can pull back out straight behind them again. Okay, is everybody clear on what we got to do? All right, best of luck, everyone.
The TVR, the Cerberus, the one I've got now is the favourite. I had a Ferrari Boxer, the 512, and that was great, but I prefer the TVR to that. No, that's for cars that just get up and go, exciting cars. But of all the vehicles I've ever had, simply for being in and being able to go long distances in comfort and being able to get all your mates in it and your dogs in it and so on, I think the pickup truck I've got now, the L200. It takes some beating, and I love that. And then for being in London, for driving around in town and being able to park anywhere, the little smart car that Gemma's got at the moment is brilliant. So I think of all the cars I've had, the 3 that we've got at the moment are actually the best. You know, we've peaked. Okay, so this is the kart we're going to be using today, or this type of kart?
This is the machine, yeah, this is an off-road rally kart. 400cc engine on the back here which drives it. Yeah. Fairly straightforward. You've got a centrifugal clutch on this, so basically when you've got 2 pedals, you've got the accelerator on your right and the brake pedal on your left.
No gears at all?
No gears to worry about, just get that right foot to the floor and keep going. Also here you've got fully sprung suspension front and back, so when you're actually coming over the jump there, it will cushion the blow. You won't feel the actual bump. You
Well,
will,
that looks particularly heavy duty, doesn't it, for this sort?
it needs to be, because the track is punishing. You know, there's a lot of wear on everything around this track, so basically it needs to be up together. You know, then coming around here on the engine itself, you know, as I said, it's 400cc, so basically it's going to drive you through all conditions, because some days it's muddy, some days it's really dusty and hot, you know. So
how fast will these go?
they're not particularly fast. A lot of it's down to technique on this track, the way we've designed it. We will find the best driver on the day.
They're expensive? How much would this be?
They're about £4,000 a piece to buy new.
Brand new?
Yeah, brand new. So
And reliability wise, they keep going? Or
they're pretty good. Yeah, they take a lot of punishment, but yeah, it's surprising for the amount of grief they can take with some groups. That's it.
Great. Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. So first,
So, this is it.
yeah, that's all right. It's
Just a
on
few
the
quiet words from Fred before I go, probably explaining why the brakes on my car don't work at all.
Okay. All right. So first time you want to come over the jump fast as you want to. Second time, take it nice and easy. We'll pull you back up, check everything's in order. We'll set you off in the actual race. All right. Drivers ready! In sequence, car one, go!
The track is incredibly bumpy, quite wet and slippery. It's also a lot more physical than I expected. My left knee was banging against the kart frame constantly, which hurt a bit, and my hands were cramping up badly before the race finished. The karts don't handle at all, not in any way that I recognise. They just leap from one rut to another and seem intent on trying to tear the steering wheel out of your hand. So, you grip it as tight as possible, and so you get cramped. It's good fun though.
You put your foot flat out when you start and just leave it there. You don't touch the brake or lift at all, so you're just going in full speed all the time, just trying to control the slides a little bit. It's really hard on the hands. It doesn't feel very quick, but it's very, very, very bouncy, and you do get the feeling if you got it wrong a little bit, and it can jerk out your hands quite easily when it's rough. If you did get one of the banks, it would just go straight over, so that adds a certain level of concentration to it. But no, it's good. It's good fun, but it's a laugh.
So, at the end of Heat 1, I'm second, with kart number 3 narrowly beating me. Karts 2 and 4, though, were lagging behind a bit, but I'm a bit suspicious that these times have more to do with body weight than driving skill.
That's a good thing. At least a good thing about this is that you drive all four karts. If there is one that has it's quicker than the other, then at the end of the day, you should all even out, hopefully. That's all right. So, it's third out of the 8th at the moment. What the people singing cars itself doesn't annoy me. What I find annoying is when people talk to Gemma about me and I'm standing there. Is it him? You know, you become like the invisible man. And I find that, and I know they don't mean it as an offensive thing, I know it's just people, it's people coping with trying to talk to somebody famous. And so I've learned that. I didn't understand that at first. I used to get very offended by it. But I must be honest, I still struggle with that a little bit. It's just, if you don't see yourself as being anything special, you're trying to second guess somebody else's bizarre behaviour because they perhaps don't think you're special, but you are different to them. So I mean, you're famous, you've been on the telly, which seems to make all the difference in the world to some people. And it is awkward sometimes to react in a way which is appropriate. You know, and most of the time I'm good, but every once in a while it's just the wrong day and the wrong moment, and I say, you know, I am here. And anyway, but people singing cars is probably the most common thing to have, isn't it? You look, it's you, isn't it? I don't recognise that song, mate. Done that badly.
Time for Heat 2. I'm trying to figure out who is doing best in what kart to see if any kart is quicker than another. I've noticed some karts seem to cut out over the bumpier parts and so don't really help with a quick time. You drive in 4 heats and each time you're in a different kart though, so it should even itself out. That's the end of the race, and I've no idea what time I did.
Any better? Yeah. I think so. I'm getting the... You know where it banks on the outside of the track? I reckon that if you use that, rather than try to do the normal racing line type rubbish, which doesn't appear to work here at all, you can just keep your speed up, because as you turn in and try to cut across and do the racing line thing, you just lose all your speed completely. But if you stay on the bank, I only was trying it the last couple of laps, but it just seems that you can just keep it going a little bit, but you can hear the engine rev stay up. Right. So I don't know if it's going to work or not yet, but I'm suspicious that might be the way to do it here, so I'm going to start asking some questions in a minute.
Well, I've improved on my time, but it's not good enough because I'm third in that race. To be honest though, there's not much in it. Make sure you join us in part 2 to see if I'm one of the 4 drivers to make it to the final. Welcome back to Gary Numan's Cars. I'm here in Hereford where I'm off-road rally karting. So far I come 2nd and 3rd in the first 2 races, so let's see if I can improve on that in Heat 3.
Right, well this is car number 4. From what I've seen so far, this is the one that seems to have the best times in it. Well, that might be because it's had the lightest people, it's hard to say, but we'll see how it goes. This is the one I'm most hopeful to get my best time in.
I'm trying a slightly different line through turn 1, which seems to be working, and I've changed the angle over the jump, which helps with the next left. I'm not sure if it'll make much difference though. That's the end of Heat 3. So how did my new lines work out?
How was that then? I don't know really. I'm not sure. It felt like it kept at the top here and I'm here just for the bump. It felt like it was sputtering and cutting out quite barely. It felt reasonably quick when it was going, but it seems to be, I don't know, you know, notice when it started, the pickup when it was really slow as it pulled, it went pop to pop until it got to the corner. So I'm not sure. I thought it was going to be my favourite, but no, I don't think so. All hopes rest on number 2 now.
I won Heat 3 actually. I am quietly convinced by now that because the karts are so lightly powered, it's the lighter people that are able to go that little bit quicker. But that doesn't stop me swapping useless tips with my friend Andrew.
So what about that corner? Was that working?
It's just about working right actually, just taking it right at the edge, as you're saying, just coming straight into it again, picking up just a different line, straight down, working magic, just catching the guy.
That that's in front of you, where was you? Because you had him by about the 2nd lap. Right,
yeah, I thought I had him, actually. I kept coming quite close up to him and I was bumping up against him. I thought he was going to let me through, but no way.
What about the blue flag? Did I get a blue flag? They're supposed to blue flag.
Did it? I didn't see anything at all, I was just concentrating on what was in front.
You're supposed to. If you're up behind someone and you're going quicker, they're supposed to blue flag it because it's slowing
right.
your time down.
I know they said it at the start, but I completely forgot about it. Just straight behind him all the time, just focusing on, God, get out of the way.
Yeah, what about that bit coming over the thing? Did that work?
That worked, different line. Completely different line, comes straight over. Yeah, pretty good.
I'm not convinced myself. I was always interested in aeroplanes as the music thing was, you know, going along its path. So my interest in aeroplanes was also going along its path. I think if this hadn't have happened, there would have been getting involved in flying in some capacity. You know, commercial pilot, I guess, would have been an obvious thing. Although, in all honesty, I did actually blow that out in school. We had a careers talk at school once. I went to grammar school. I got expelled from a grammar school, but I went there initially. And we had a careers talk, and they said, for all those of you that are thinking about being airline pilots, only 1 in 1,000 actually get to make it, which turned out to be just absolutely untrue anyway. But that's the careers advice that we were getting. And there was about 800 people in that school, and I looked around, and I knew there was people there cleverer than I was. So I thought, well, that's not going to happen, is it? So I gave up there and then, and that was that careers talk that turned me away from flying and made me turn on to being to the rock star thing. Well, I might as well just go for that then. Up until then, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Underneath all of that is this sort of dream that I had since I was a kid that never became as developed as the music or the flying thing, but to be a racing car driver. I always had this secret little ambition that I could be a racing car driver one day.
This is it, round 4, car number 2, last chance to qualify. The karts are not powerful at all, but they go as quick as you would want to on such a rugged and bumpy surface. The races are actually timed laps, so the karts are sent out one at a time, about 10 seconds apart. Because of that, you don't really race for position, but for the quickest time, which is a shame but understandable, as the track is very narrow in places and not very long, and the karts are so evenly matched that overtaking is almost impossible anyway. The checkered flag is out, and that's the end of the last race. I actually finished with my best time so far. It's put me in second place in the heat, but is it good enough to get me into the final? Nigel, in kart number 1 for this race, seems to be setting all the fastest times at the moment. I wonder if it's because he's the lightest man here, or does he have a secret technique?
Not really. I tried to keep the race in line, but other than that, just flat out really. That's it. You know, don't bother braking. Just keep going. Go for it, like. That's it.
Okay, basically the 4 fastest heat times qualify for the final. The final is the same format as the heats itself, but it is just the fastest time in the final that will win the session. And in a time of 2:36.29 was driver number 7. All right, I'd like to pick. Okay.
Number 2.
Kart 2, and your name please?
Nigel.
Nigel is in kart 2. Second fastest was driver number 8. Okay. Third fastest was driver number 1. Choice of 2, Gary.
Car number 3, sorry.
Kart number 3 for Gary. All right. And the 4th fastest qualifier was driver number 6.
To be honest, when I first got here, I thought I would.
We do issue
But then
tissue
after the
if you're
first
really
race,
scared.
I didn't think I would. No, I think in the second race I was second from last or something. So I wasn't overly confident then. There's some sort of quite skinny people here. So. But no, that's quite good actually. How many people are doing it? 10, isn't it? Yeah. I don't think I do very well in the final though, to be really truthful. That number 7. You got a 2:36. I think it's about 6 seconds faster than my best. So I'm going to be around the back somewhere where he finishes probably.
My name's Rob Williams and I'm in kart 1.
My name's Nigel Taylor, kart number 2.
I'm Gary Numan and I'm in kart 3.
I'm Mark Bembo, I'm in kart 4.
Nigel, unsurprisingly, also qualified for the final. So was he feeling confident?
Not really. No, guy number 1's very good.
So this is it, the final. And I'm going against Rob, Nigel and Mark. I'd all but given up on trying to figure out how to go quicker, as nothing seemed to make much difference, and the only pressure I felt was worrying about worms being thrown up with the mud. But it is a great day out. The end of the final, so how did I do?
Okay lads, a moment of truth. In reverse order from 3rd, we have in kart number 1 was Rob. Well done, mate. Something so you can keep practicing. The runner-up in a time of 2:36.63 in kart number 3 was Gary. And by just over 0.2 of a second in 2:37.40 Cart number 2 was Nigel. Well done, Nigel.
I'm not wasting this.
Give it a shake, Nigel.
Perhaps I will.
In first place it was Nigel in cart 2, second was me, third place was Rob, and fourth goes to Mark with 2:39.73.
No, I'm happy with that, to be honest about it. I think I was at least 5 seconds quicker than I was in the heats, in the first one certainly. And so whatever little things I was picking up by watching other people and just practicing, it was all beginning to come together. And the track is drying out slightly as well, and I think that's helped to make quite a difference. But to be honest about it, I thought I was going to come fourth, really, really did. And I thought it was going to be a bit embarrassing, to be honest. But that's great, I'm well chuffed for that. I've got something to put on my shelf at home. That's cool. Whoa! That's it for this week. Join us next week on Gary Newman's Cars.
On next week's Gary Newman's Cars,
That was just... it was brilliant.